you're losing because it takes so long for you to fall. So that's increased height. You can see that it's extremely slow. Next, I'll do triple jump. I want to save control jump for the end, for the big wow. All right, triple jump. We'll do that. Still feels pretty slow, doesn't it? You guys have watched me run around with a Warlock and a Titan for the last hour and a half. Do you see how slow the hunter is? Now I'll switch to control jump and I'll show you what you can do. Now again, I'm wearing Bones of Ao. Keep that in mind. You really need Bones of Ao. Control jump. Look at this. Cool thing about control jump, no cooldown. It's not like Blink or anything like that. You get immediate gratification. You can use it as many times as you want. I use this jump when I'm playing with people doing speed runs and such. It's the only way on a hunter that you can actually get enough speed to be a contributing member of a speed run. Otherwise, you just can't get where you need to go fast enough. Okay? So that's what that kind of looks like. So now we'll talk about directional changes and spacing of jumps. And the blink works basically the same way as it does for the Warlock, and we did that earlier in the stream. So if you missed it and you want to learn more about blink, you can watch the video on demand at a later time, and you'll be able to see the tutorial on blink from there. All right, so let's talk about, I'll go back to increased height. We'll start there. We'll talk about spacing of jumps. All right, so, oh yeah, James, yeah, so the directional change is really tough when you're using control jump. It can be extremely hard to navigate areas if you're not used to it. So it's another one that you really need to practice with, but we'll get to that in a moment. So triple jump, or sorry, increased height. So if you, on a hunter, tap the double jump, can you highlight your stream and maybe upload it to YouTube? The idea here is that we will definitely be pulling pieces of this stream apart and making them available in other locations, so more to come on that. Running the Spark on Kingsfall can be risky with control. That is extremely true, yes. I usually use triple jump at the beginning, control jump when I'm going from encounter to encounter, and then I'll switch back to triple jump in other locations. So I totally agree with that. All right, increased height. So with a hunter, tapping your jump button quickly without holding it down is going to give you quick quick hops, but you don't travel as much. So you can see that if you activate them very quickly, you actually, I'm on increased height right now. Look how not high I'm jumping by double tapping very quickly. Now, if you time them correctly, where you're waiting until you're at the apex of the jump and you hold that A button down, you actually get more height. So let me show that again. Tapping quickly, spacing it out. Look how much additional height I get. So what you want to make sure you're doing is thinking about how far you need to travel, how high you need to be, because it might be that tapping it quickly is exactly the right thing. Sometimes it's the right thing to do. It gets you where you need to go, gets you over something, But sometimes it's not the right thing to do. Sometimes you need to get a little bit higher up. Perhaps here. I did just finish that. I cheated a little bit. I finished off with a sword swipe. Let me talk about that right quick. You can use the sword on a hunter jump if you need to get really high with a hunter. You cannot use forward momentum because every time that you push your stick forward when you're trying to jump up with a hunter, you lose your height. And you don't want to lose height. You want to, especially when you're trying to jump high here, like you see that I'm trying to get up on top of this thing here. If I try to put my stick forward, I guess technically it's going to work on this one. It's not high enough for it to be an issue, but if you maybe time it not quite right, or if you start a little too far out, you might not be able to get all the way up. But if you use the sword swipe, you get a little bit of forward momentum and you can get onto some spaces. Okay? So that's increased height. And we'll talk about control jump. Control jump is really interesting. So when you're speed running, it's great because, hey, you can go really fast if you're moving forward. Control jump also, you change direction easily. So you'll see me here, here I'm jumping forward and then backward. Left, then right. Forward, kind of to the side. So if you are using control jump and you're only going straight and you keep your stick moving forward the entire time, or if you make minor changes while you're in the air, you're good to go. However, if you decide, oh, I don't want to be there, and you take your finger off the stick, you change direction. You don't get as much height, you don't get as much momentum, you just kind of hop in midair. So you have to be really, really careful when you're dealing with the control jump. As an example, here I'm going forward. If I take my finger off the stick, now I suddenly just hopped straight in air and I didn't go anywhere. Whereas if I had kept my stick pointing forward, while I was doing that, I could have made it forward. So you have to be really careful. It can definitely trip you up, especially if you're, a little bit nervous and you're in a new area. You got some enemies trying to shoot at you. It can be really easy to make mistakes. I would definitely recommend when you're practicing control jump, when you're learning how to use it, I would suggest keeping the sword around, because the sword's going to give you that one last, oops, I missed my jump, or I forgot to keep my directional moving, and I'm going to just quickly put the sword in the other direction so that I can get back on course. And now we'll do triple jump. Triple jump is really, really great when you need to traverse long distances. So I'm going to attempt to get as far as possible. I think I can get all the way over there with triple jump. Let's see. Nope, not quite, but I can get here. Okay. I'm going to try to get over maybe here. I don't know if I can, but we'll try. Perfect. Lots of lateral movement. The only disadvantage I see with triple jump is that you don't get as much forward momentum. So you really If you've got long distances to travel with it and you need the forward momentum, you definitely are going to want to have those bones on. And I'll show you something else that's kind of cool, which I use in King's Fall all the time. In King's Fall, the platforms during either the Daughters or during Oryx, some of them are further apart, some of them are closer together. But I always feel like I want to just keep moving the whole time, and I don't want to have to try to remember how many jumps I should be doing. So I always do a double jump each time, or I guess triple jump. So if they're close together, I do tap tap. If they're far apart, I do a space them out, or I'll do a wait, tap tap. Wait, tap tap. So again, here's a tap tap. It's a little slower. Tap tap. Tap tap. All right. So those are the various hunter jumps. We still have about 15 minutes. I don't know if there's anything else that people were looking to see. I'm on my hunter right now. What kind of weapons do I have? I think I have some void stuff. I have fire and a little bit of void. I'll move a void secondary over and I'll do a story mission. If anybody has any questions, you're more than welcome to put them in the chat, and I'll keep on keeping on for the next 15 minutes or so. And that'll be it for me. Matt says he's excited for Destiny 2 because of the automatic ledge climb thing. I mean, I don't think that there's anything that I'm not excited about for Destiny 2, if we're just being completely honest. Oh, I should probably infuse this sword up. Minimum agility versus max. Okay, I will definitely demonstrate that. Let me just transfer a void special weapon over. Load into the story mission. And I gotta infuse that sword up because I don't need to be 391. That's silly. Totally silly.
Urgent transmission incoming on all channels. From the speaker.
Okay.
Nothing is more important.
Oh.
We believe the Hive
Whoops.
are engaged in a ritual
Okay.
that is draining the traveler of its light. Whatever power they wield must be understood and destroyed.
All right. Just changing
This
something.
ritual could be happening in any one.
Hi, Mitch. Hello. Quiver for long distance or blade dancer. Okay, good suggestions, James. I will definitely talk about that. So what James is talking about is there's a couple ways that you can traverse long distances as a hunter, similarly to the way that you can do that for a Titan. And you can use your super to do that. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm really terrible with the quiver technique. One of the other Dame mentors that I work with frequently, Eats Some Cow, she's really, really good at using the quiver. What the quiver